can't get it.
So you see how much kidnappers are taking from victims.
Now, this problems with the all these people guys just get that, and I think you get that. The 3% for the oil producing community is too low.
But the support that is needed, and once you get the support, your airline people will blossom.
This is Nigeria. You need to give people sense of belonging.
Good morning. Welcome to Inside Nigeria on Leadership Television. And here in Abuja, we sincerely apologize for bringing the program a bit behind schedule. It was due to some circumstances beyond our control. My name is Winifred Bebo, and we have a guest in the studio this morning. He's an in-house colleague. He's also a public affairs commentator, and he's Paul Wadima. Paul,
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you. We have 4 papers on our menu for review this morning. We have Nigeria's most influential newspaper, Leadership, the sister publication, National Economy, THISDAY newspaper, and VANGUARD newspaper. And we are flagging off with our staple, Leadership. On Leadership this morning is a leading story from yesterday's headline, and it says Lamido Tambuwa blow hot over Southern leaders' 2023 comments. Lamido Tambuwa blow hot over Southern leaders' 2023 comments. Nobody can intimidate us with zoning, says Lamido. Nigeria needs national president, not regional leader, Tambuwa. Don't open another war front for polls, Abdul Salami warns. This is on Leadership this morning, a developing story on 2023 presidency and PDP. And this day newspaper and next paper on our menu for review also has the same story on PDP tickets. It says, our 2023 presidential ticket open to all, says PDP. Our 2023 presidential ticket open to all, says PDP. Insists no zoning will be denied, no zone will be denied opportunity to contest. Northern group re-echoes party's position. This day, Leadership have almost the same story. So, Paul, what do you say to this? You know, we saw yesterday Southern leaders were telling Northern aspirants to share their hearts for now, for 2023. And today, Leadership in a developing story says, the Northern says, no, you don't have the right to tell us what to do. So what is your take on that?
I think the Southern leaders, they were only re-echoing what the Southern leaders said in Asaba last year, that in 2023, that the presidency must return to the South.
Yes.
What they said there yesterday was just a re-echoing of that agenda they have. And if you see the tone, if you could record the tone they use in talking about that power shift, it was at that time it was even very combative. But they have a genuine reason why they said so. After 8 years of President Muhammad Buhari's regime, which will end in 2023, is in a religiously diverse country like Nigeria, and ethnic diversity, we have over 300 or 400 ethnic regions, ethnicities in Nigeria. So there is always need for balance. Even the federal character principle also talk about the need for balance. So they felt that for justice, equity, and fair play, after 8 years of the presidency in the North, that it should be the turn of the South to produce the next president of Nigeria. That was the basis of their position. Now that their position, if you look at it, is tenable. But there are also another set of people in the People's Democratic Party from the North who felt, okay, under the Northern zoning arrangements, the North has not had enough of the presidency under the PDP.
Yes.
Okay, if you remember, Obasanjo from the south had 8 years as president, Jonathan 5 years. Some people like to mischievously claim that Jonathan did 6 years. It was actually 5 years.
And
Yes.
Late
Yaradua did only 3 years.
yes.
So with that, some people are saying there is a need for balance, especially those coming from the north.
That is
So
talking
that's
about PDP ticket.
talking about PDP. But in terms of APC, APC has no reason to even equivocate over moving the power to the south, because since President Muhammad Buhari has done, will be doing 8 years by 2023. It is common sense that APC should zone its presidency to the south. Let the debate be for PDP, because PDP is where the northern aspirant can have some arguments to make. But even that argument is not also very tenable when you look at the situation on the ground. Because at the end of the day, we are talking about power rotating between north and south. If we are to stand on that, I think the PDP people may not have stronger, PDP presidential aspirant from the north may not have any strong argument to present why the power should return to the north after 8 years of President Muhammad Buhari.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Ko. But no, don't you think that PDP is in a dire straits, given the fact that, yes, as you highlighted a few seconds ago, they've not really fielded the only presidential, northern presidential candidate they fielded, that was former Vice President Atiku, did not win the ticket. And Yaradua, in northern president, did not fulfill complete his tenure. And now you will discover that the most of PDP supporters are also from the south. They are
yes, you have a point there, because
so what are they going to do? Now they said they are throwing it open. So what is PDP going to do in order to retain that?
Yeah, in principle, they can say that they are throwing it open, but in their heart of hearts, they ought to know that the power is supposed to go to the south, especially between southeast and south-south. Why I say this is because it is the south-south and southeast that have made PDP to remain as a political party or a national political party. Remember during the tsunami of 2015, many of these people that are returning back to PDP now were moved to APC. Now, if everyone had abandoned PDP at that period, there would have been no PDP left for them to return to. So who are the people that sustained the party? It was the south-south and southeast. And south-south and southeast have been these two regions have been very militant supporters of PDP. They are the reason why PDP is still alive today. So for common sense, they ought to have known that this party is standing today because of people from south-south and southeast. So they ought to consider them for the presidency. Now, if you look at the south-south and southeast, you look at all the geopolitical zones. These two zones have not had much hold in the presidency. Jonathan did only 5 years. The southeast has not even touched the presidency in this our present dispensation. So there's a need to consider these two zones by the People's Democratic Party. But if they insist that they will throw it open and that even a northern candidate can emerge, well, there will be a lot of ramification for the party going forward.
So now that PDP said they are throwing their ticket open and for all entrants to come into the room, so what are the chances of a southern candidate coming up? What are the chances?
Of course, everybody can come up, but you know, they may not have to say it in public. In their hearts, they will know who they want to emerge. Look, taking into consideration the survival of the party and also the winnability of the candidate, because the PDP, if they want to win the election, they need to present a candidate that will be acceptable nationwide. So that will be one of the issues they will address. But I don't want to dwell on that too much, because when you are a presidential candidate and they want you to become president in this country, they will have a way of making it possible for you. Because we have seen instances where people like former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who didn't have the support of Southwest, and he still emerged the president of the country. So it's important that the major stakeholders, those who decide who get what, let them know that it is important at this point in time of Nigerian history that when we have so much division in the country, when there is so much agitation, that there's a need to show that this is a nation of one country, and consider people from Southeast for the presidency so that they can unify the country. That is my personal view.
Yeah.
But they may not think it's important. They may feel that the Southeast on their own cannot be able to produce presidents, and they may not even, they don't have what it takes to influence the outcome of the presidential election. And so they say, okay, let us leave them. But that will not be in national interest if we really care about our national interest.
Okay, thank you so much. Moving away from This Day and Leadership newspaper, we are going to our next paper on our menu this morning, and is Vanguard. Vanguard is all about APC. It says 2023 Southwest APC governors divided over Tinubu, Osinbajo, Fayemi. 2023 Southwest APC governors divided over Tinubu, Osinbajo, Fayemi. Court strikes as suit filed by Aregbesol's group over Osun APC Congress. We are not leaving APC, aggrieved Ekiti governor aspirants. Ex-Governor Yari, not a member of APC, says Jaji. APC Women Rights Buhari, NEC, asks for postponement of February convention. I'll take that again. 2023, Southwest APC governors divided over Tinubu, Osinbajo, Fayemi. On the rider is a potpourri of stories, says court strikes out suit filed by Aregbesol's group over Osun APC Congress. We are not leaving APC, say aggrieved Ekiti governor aspirants. Ex-Governor Yari, not a member of APC, says Jaji. APC Women Rights Buhari, NEC, asks for postponement of February convention. And Mr. Paul, this is a convention that is supposedly slated for 26th of this month. What do you have to say? And now we have APC women writing Buhari to ask for postponement. Don't you see it as a plan to scuttle?
I think it's they are asking too much from the president. I think what they ought to have done is to make sure that the party is prepared for the convention, because the major opposition party, the PDP, has settled put his out in order after his convention, at least to a manageable extent. So the APC cannot be dragging the country back, because APC is the party in power. Whatever affects APC affects the nation. Exactly. So they should not be dragging the country back by keep on postponing their national convention. I don't think the president should listen to them. What they should do is to key in, and you find out that most of the people who are asking for postponement are those who didn't get what they want at the convention, those whose candidates did not emerge. So they want to keep on dragging the country back until their candidate emerges. We can't continue to wait like that. It is a democratic dispensation. You win some, you lose some. When your candidate didn't emerge, you reintegrate yourself back to your party. Next time could be your turn. That is the best thing to do. Our politicians should learn to accept defeat instead of pushing trying to change the goalpost from time to time.
Now, let's look at the main headline story on Vanguard this morning. It says, Southwest APC governors divided over Tinubu, Osinbajo, and Fayemi. What is going to happen? We have three prominent sons from Southwest jostling for the #1 seat in 2023. So, and this has is going to polarize the Southwest zone as a
whole. But the truth of the matter is that this is a political contest. All the three candidates you mentioned, perhaps others you didn't mention, they are eminently qualified to be president of Nigeria. And any contest, there will always be division. Even when Manchester United is playing with Chelsea, there will be division. People would have to take side. So it's not unusual that Southwest is divided. And they will continue to be divided until after the APC primaries. That is the fact. Unless some of the candidates decide to do have what we call consensus candidates. Maybe the presidential aspirants, they meet together. Maybe Afenifere organize a voting for them, and one of them emerges, and the rest will stay down. There's something like that, but I don't see that. But the division is natural, and but it also depends on how you manage it. Don't forget that the Southwest was also divided in 1999 between Chief Olufalaye and the late Attorney General of the Federation, Chief Bolaige. They were divided over these two men. At the end of the day, Olufalaye had the day because Olufalaye was seen to be more urban, much more accommodating in their own estimation, much more sellable than Bolaige. And that was why they rallied around him, and he became the presidential candidate of AD. So it's a normal thing. At the end of the day, of course, that division between Olufalaye and Bolaige, it had a big crack on Afenifere. It affected it. At the end of the day, Afenifere has not been the same since that time. So I think I also am concerned about it. The management of the division. That's what I'm concerned about. It's not a question of division. There will be division in any political contest. There will be those who are for the vice president. There will be those who are for national leader of APC. There will be those for Governor Fayemi. It's natural, but it's how they manage the divisions so that they see that this thing is a political contest. It's not a do or die affair. If I don't support your candidate, don't come and kill me because I didn't support your candidate. Let us know that this is a contest. Only one person will emerge.
Thank you so much for that. Now, how feasible is the incoming APC convention, given the fact that crises and litigations is still flying around? For instance, we are saying in Vanguard, it says 4 strikes are suit filed by Aregbesol's group over Osun APC Congress. And we see Jaji telling APC that ex-Governor Yari of Zamfara is not a member of APC. So we have so many still agreed members of the party, which is supposed to hold this convention 26th of this month. So what is your take?
As long as the leader of the party, President Muhammad Buhari, is in support of the convention, it will take place. Okay. And I have confidence that our courts will not allow themselves to be used for this. The CJN has warned lawyers about being judges about being instruments of politicians to disrupt the political process. That gives me confidence that the thing will go ahead according to plan, unless something drastic happens. And I can't see what will happen that will make the president to change his mind. I think it will go ahead.
Thank you so much. Let's just go on a break. When we come back, we'll be reviewing a last paper on our menu this morning, talking about business. Don't go away. Stay tuned.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters.
Let's learn to Inside Nigeria, reaching you on Leadership Television. And my name still remains Winifred Ugwebo. With me in the studio is Paul Wadima. Paul Wadima is an insider, a colleague, and is also a public affairs commentator. Paul, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
So we'll be reviewing our last paper for today's Inside Nigeria, and that is national economy. The headline story on the front page of national economy says indigenous oil firms fine-tune ownership strategies as IOCs divest. Indigenous oil firms fine-tune ownership strategies as IOC divest. That is on national economy this morning.
Yeah, it's a fact that for a variety of reasons,
Yes.
many international oil companies are leaving the country. They are divesting from the industry, and this also partly as a result of new technology. People are moving away from the use of fossil fuel. We are talking about green energy. So as a result of this, many oil companies are moving away from their traditional investment portfolio. And as they are moving, it's an opportunity for Nigerian investors to take over from them. So it's a good development. For a very long time, we have been talking about that our oil sector, which is the mainstay of our economy, have been dominated by foreign interest. Now we have opportunity to take over. Nigerian companies have opportunity to take over and run the show themselves. It is a good thing, and it is hoped that those divesting are also making available the necessary technology for those taking over to be able to produce maximally. And then what the story is talking about is in terms of the Nigeria indigenous companies taking over. They are trying to fine-tune the processes of making sure that the companies don't collapse because the international manpower is leaving the country. I think that's basically it. They want to make sure that the processes of ownership transfer is transparent, is in order, and that they have the capacity to be able to take over and take on from where the divesting international companies are moving away from. It's a good thing for the country. Local content has always been an issue in Nigeria. You know about the Local Content Act in this industry. It's all about making sure that Nigerians play active role in the industry. Now the thing has been served to Nigerians almost on a platter. So those who are already operating in the industry, who know some of the people who are owning this on these indigenous owners, some of them have worked with these international IOCs. Are you getting it?
Yes.
They have worked with them. They know how the processes work. Some of them are engineers in the field. Some of them are marketers. They know in and out of the process of the industry. So they are taking over. It's a good thing that they want to come up with strategies to make the ownership structure very transparent. I think it's in order.
It is in order, but my only worry here, Mr. Paul, is that the fact that after maybe divesting and our local, that's indigenous oil firms take over, you still find a situation whereby they will still contract maybe all these their foreign partners some huge stakes.
Well, they may do that, but the truth of the matter, the truth of the matter is that these oil companies are looking in another direction. We are talking about a world in which nobody may be using fossil fuel to drive a car in the next 20 years because Europe is trying to phase away fossil fuel fuel-driven cars. They want to go full blast electric cars. So if you are a major IOC and you're operating in Nigeria, you know there's no much market again. The price of oil will continue to fall. And as it continues to fall, I don't think return on investment will be what it used to be for the sector. So that's why many of them are moving away. But you know that we in this part of the world, we may continue to be using fossil fuel to, to drive our car, for our energy and all that. So we still need it very much. So we should be interested in investing where they are living. I don't have any doubt. Of course, there may be some aspects that they don't understand, which they may still retain the IOC. Some of those that have worked with the IOC, the expatriate, on consultancy basis or whatever basis they can, to make sure that the process doesn't have any hitches along the way.
All right, thank you so much for your thoughts and for joining the conversation today on the Inside Nigeria. We hope to see more of you next time, Mr. Paul.
Thank you for having me.
But you ask this where we draw the curtain on today's Inside Nigeria. Don't forget, tomorrow is another day and another time to keep a date with us. I remain Winifred Global. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.